This week, the Funko drama got stranger. We'll discuss. Plus, how close are we to PS3 emulation on the Raspberry Pi? Trick question, it's already here. And what does Valve have cooking up for tonight's Game Awards? Maybe some new hardware? Who knows? We'll talk about all of this and more today. That's right, it's Steam Deck and Linux gaming news time. So on Monday, I made a video about how Funko, the useless, wasteful vinyl figurine company, Funko, how they took down itch.io for a few hours by using a terrible AI. So Itch's owner, Leif Corcoran, complained about this on Blue Sky and on Twitter, and there was a rally of fans around the company. Well, Funko didn't take too kindly to this. Someone from Funko apparently found Leif's mother's phone number, and they gave her a call and complained, quote, "This is not a joke. Funko just called my mom. Got a strange call from a company about accusatory statements on your social media account. Call me." I could just imagine my mom doing that. That seems like a form of intimidation to me, so what kind of sicko would do that? Funko, that's who. Now, for what it's worth, Funko issued a statement about the situation, and we'll read that. At Funko, we hold a deep respect and appreciation for indie games, indie gamers, and indie developers. We're fans of fans, and we love the creativity and passion that define the indie gaming community. Recently, one of our brand protection partners identified a page at itch.io imitating the Funko Fusion development website. A takedown request was issued to address the specific page. Funko did not request a takedown of the itch.io platform, and we're happy the site was back up by this morning. We have reached out to itch.io to engage with them on this issue, and we deeply appreciate the understanding of the gaming community as the details are determined. Thank you for sharing our passion for creativity. Not an ounce of sincerity or humility in that post. I mean, in fact, there's not an acknowledgement of wrongdoing or even a simple apology. This was spin and a bad attempt at it. They didn't issue a takedown. No. According to the reader's context on Twitter, quote, "The takedown request in question was a fraud and phishing report to the registrar instead of the more usual DMCA request, according to the person who runs Itch." So what does Leif have to say about all this? Well, quote, "From what I can tell, some person made a fan page for an existing Funko Pop video game, Funko Fusion, with links to the official site and screenshots of the game. The brand shield software, the AI in question, is probably instructed to eradicate all unauthorized uses of their trademark. So they sent reports independently to our host and registrar claiming that there was fraud and phishing going on, likely to cause escalation instead of doing the expected DMCA/cease and desist. Because of this, I honestly think they are the malicious actors in all of this." He continues, "About 5 or 6 days ago, I received these reports from our host, Linode, and from our registrar, I Want My Name. I expressed my disappointment in my responses to both of them, but told them I had removed the page and disabled the account. Linode confirmed and closed the case. I Want My Name never responded. This evening, I got a downtime alert, and while debugging, I noticed that the domain status had been set to server hold on I Want My Name's domain panel. We have no other abuse reports from I Want My Name other than this one. I'm assuming no one on their end closed the ticket, so it went into the automatic system to disable the domain after some number of days. I've been trying to get in touch with them via their abuse and support emails, but no response, likely due to the time of day, so I decided to escalate the issue myself on social media." Wild. Absolutely wild. Remind me to never use I Want My Name. I mean, while Brand Shield seems like a malicious actor, I Want My Name is seems fairly negligent in their responsibilities here. So last month, we talked about Unreal Tournament and the Old Unreal project. Do you remember that? Old Unreal is the project that works to keep the classic Unreal Tournament up to date and running well on modern systems. While Old Unreal could legally distribute their own code and patches, they couldn't legally distribute copies of Unreal Tournament. But back in November, they made a splash by pointing Old Unreal players to archive.org's UT99 ISOs. And Epic actually did something cool for once and said, hey, yeah, that's fine. We're not selling it, so we're okay with you guys downloading it for free. Well, this week, Epic created a new page on their site to coincide with the release of Unreal Tournament's episode of Amazon's Secret Level. Now, this page is a love letter to Unreal Tournament. Quote, before we were known for Fortnite, gag, you might have known us for another game, the one that started it all. Between 1998 and 2010, we released 9 titles in the Unreal franchise, including Unreal Tournament. The rest is, history. While Unreal Tournament is no longer in development by Epic Games, servers for some versions of UT are still active thanks to a devoted community of developers and fans who provide patches and maintenance. We want to thank the community at oldunreal.com for their continued support in keeping the legacy alive. Now, on this page, you can scroll through the history of the Unreal Tournament franchise, from the original 1998 Unreal to UT99, Unreal Tournament 2003, Unreal Championship, Unreal Tournament 2004, and beyond. They even go and mention the Unreal Tournament Alpha, and if we look at this logo and scroll back up to the top here, you can see that this logo here is the one representing the entire Unreal franchise, even though it's from the canceled 2014 reboot. I just find that a little bit of a weird decision. Anyway, despite the fact that Epic Games is a contemptible organization today, it's still possible for them to do cool things. I mean, greenlighting the free and unrestricted distribution of old, out-of-print, commercially unavailable software, I think that that's worthy of a slight head nod of approval. All right, now it's time for Deals of the Week, the segment where we highlight the bundles and sales that will help you grow your library of games. This week, we've got 2 to mention. The Raw Fury bundle from Humble is here, and there are 11 games on offer for $15, and every single one of them is deck verified. We've got Domekeeper Deluxe, we've got Sklad, we've got Snufkin Melody of Moomin Valley. I had to double check and make sure that I didn't typo that, Moomin Valley. We have Mr. Sun's Hat Box, Sable, Kingdom 80s, Norco, Kingdom 2 Crowns, Star Renegades, Pizza Possum, and Friends vs. Friends. This is a hell of a bundle, and I think I'm going to be picking this one up, as Domekeeper has been on my radar for quite a while. Then there are a few exciting deals over on GOG, including Disco Elysium, which is 75% off. Then there's Witcher 3, which is 80% off, and Tomb Raider Game of the Year, which is 85% off. And there's a ton more on sale over on GOG. You can use any of my affiliate links below to help support this show, at no additional cost to you. And if you use my links, thank you. So you might know that Valve has been selling refurbished LCD Steam Decks for a while now, and that's pretty cool, because you can get a good deal on some quality hardware that's been, refurbished with maybe a few slight cosmetic imperfections, but definitely worth the money. But if you live in North America anyway, the LCD models are completely sold out at this point. But that's okay, because they've just rolled out both OLED models. And this is awesome because it means that people will be able to get the improved Steam Deck hardware for less. The refurbished 512 model is $439, with the 1 terabyte being $519. And that's cool because the refurbished 1 terabyte model is now less than a new 512 gigabyte model. Valve's certification process on these is pretty stringent too. Quote, each certified refurbished Steam Deck has been thoroughly tested to the same high standards of our retail units. Every device goes through a complete factory reset, software update, and an extensive examination involving over 100 tests at one of Valve's facilities. Among the tests are all controller inputs, the audio system, the screen, and internals. Battery health is also assessed to ensure proper functionality and longevity. All refurbished units meet or even exceed the performance standard of a new retail unit. Although they may have minor cosmetic blemishes, they provide a reliable, high-quality gaming experience at a low cost. So, just in time for Christmas, you can pick up a refurbished Steam Deck OLED for your kids, or let's be honest, for yourself. And get a good deal on it too. So, PlayStation 3 Emulation, RPCS 3, it's one of my favorite topics on this channel. And you know what? They've released a new ARM64 build. These new builds are compatible with the Raspberry Pi 5 and Apple Silicon. This is huge news, and while I have no doubt that Apple Silicon will be able to play PS3 games at a terrific frame rate, the Pi 5? It's true. It seems like a lot of folks were skeptical, but guess what? I mean, they've actually done this. The official RPCS3 YouTube channel actually has a video showing off some of the gameplay of the Raspberry Pi 5. And it is pretty impressive, while also being decidedly low resolution and lacking anti-aliasing. It is truly impressive to see a Raspberry Pi, of all things, able to emulate a PlayStation 3, let alone be fast and accurate enough to do so for a rhythm game. I mean, look at this. Like, it doesn't look terrific, but it's definitely playable. Now, this will require at least 8 GB of RAM and OpenGL 4.3 or Vulkan compatible drivers. Now, this really does bode well for any potential ARM-based hardware from Valve in the future, which there are hints of that in the pipeline, and you can watch my video about a potential ARM-powered Steam Deck up here. But you know what? Speaking of future hardware, so last Friday, Reddit user Coolbo3K spotted a change to the SteamOS kernel, and it's a doozy. This commit is titled Updating CEC Endpoint for Fremont. CEC in this case stands for Consumer Electronics Control, and it's the protocol that lets your TV control HDMI devices and vice versa. It's why you can turn on your PlayStation 4 and it'll automatically turn on your TV for you, or how you can use something like your TV's native remote to control your Steam Deck if it's plugged in via a compatible dock. But what is this Fremont that they're speaking of? Well, Brad Lynch, notorious Steam investigator, says that there's evidence that it's a new SteamOS powered device. Not only that, but it follows the same numerical conventions as the previous Steam Deck hardware. For example, there was F7A, which was the LCD Steam Deck, and then there was F7G, which was the OLED, and now Fremont is referenced as F7F. So that bodes well for new Steam hardware. But he also brought the receipts for other things too. All references to Fremont ensure checks for a full-size HDMI Type A port that you'd see on TV-focused consoles and other desktop computers that don't have a dedicated GPU with its own HDMI ports. So not a USB-C port with video capabilities. If we look at Geekbench for Lilac, we see devices using the AMD 8540U. But as several folks have pointed out, this is likely a prototype board supplied to Valve by AMD until they can manufacture their own devices. So it could be using a custom chip like the Steam Deck or something else. So it looks like an actual honest-to-goodness first-party SteamOS console for your living room. And I am absolutely here for you. Are you kidding me? I can't wait to see where this goes. And maybe the Game Awards will have something to show us. Maybe Valve will be there showing off Fremont, whatever the official name is going to be. Maybe they'll show off VR hardware. Maybe they'll show off Half-Life 3. The sky's the limit, and I'm trying not to get my hopes up, but I am going to be watching the Game Awards tonight and streaming it live with my friends High Tech Low Life and The Brink on our channel Off the Console. This is our podcast channel where we talk about all kinds of gaming related news, nerdy type stuff. So if you want to watch the Game Awards with us tonight, make sure you head over there and follow us for that. There's going to be a link up here. Well, I think that's going to do it for now. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to get your name listed over here, you can become a patron or a YouTube member using the links below. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time.